In this video, you're going to upload your website to the server and share it with the world. Now, before doing that, you're going to explore several features which come with your hosting package. So this is the page where we left off after placing the order. You can always come back here by clicking on the home link. So I'm going to click on my active service. On this web page, you'll find various details about your hosting service. This includes your control panel username and other details. So the name of the control panel is Direct Admin. That's the control panel that we use on this server. On the right hand side, you may see something different here for the billing cycle, but you don't have to worry, as it should turn to a free account pretty shortly. And also, you shouldn't worry about the next due date because your service is free anyway. Okay, now let's log into the control panel by clicking on the login button, and this is what we get. So this is your control panel. So it will show you the different features which you can use with your hosting package. So let's try the file manager, for example. So this will show you the different files and folders inside your server. So if I go to domains and then pick the domain that I chose earlier and then go to public HTML, this is the folder where I'm supposed to place all the files which I want to share with the world. So if you want any web page to be live, it's got to be inside this folder somewhere. All right. So if you go back to the root directory, you'll find a shortcut here, public HTML. That shortcut will take you to that folder. So if I click there, then I land right there. Now the files that you see here are pre-built files which you can change as you like. So if you hover on this HTML file, you can rename it, you can edit it, and so on. Now, let's go to our domain or subdomain and see what we get. So the contents that you see there is actually the content of this index.html file. And that's because when you type the domain, it's similar to typing the path of the public HTML folder. Now, if I try domain/index.html, then I still get exactly the same content. And that's because when you type the path of a folder, in our case public HTML, and inside that folder there is already an index.html file, then you get the content of that index.html file. All right. Now, if I edit the name of this file by renaming it to something like test.html, and I type the domain, then this is what I get. I just get the list of the files inside this directory. And that's because there is no index.html file. Now, if I rename this file index.html, then again, I'm going to get the content of that file. Now, if you want, you can edit the file. So, for example, inside the body, I can just have a paragraph saying hello there. Then save. And now if I visit the web page again, this is what I get. Now, as you can see, there is a bit of styling added to this paragraph, and that's because we've got a style element inside the head. And this is something you're going to understand in the next chapter. So I'm going to delete it for now and save. And now the styling will disappear. Now I can go back and create other files inside this folder by clicking on Create File and putting the name of the file and so on. Now this interface is pretty good. You can do all sorts of things with your files and folders, from creating them to deleting them to editing them. But there are better ways of doing this, and that's why we're going to install an FTP tool on our computer. So using that FTP tool, we will be able to upload files to the server, edit them directly from our computer, and we can use our own text editor as well. Alright, in the next two videos, I'm going to show you how to install and set up your FTP tool on your computer and connect to the server. So the first video is going to go through the installation and setup using CyberDuck, while the next one will do that using FileZilla. Now, CyberDuck is compatible with Windows and Mac, while FileZilla is compatible with Windows, Mac, and Linux. So you'll find the link to this webpage straight after this video. So if you go to this webpage, you can compare between these two. You can also find some other alternatives, if you like, by clicking right there. Once you've made up your mind, you just need to install one of these two on your computer. Now, if you want to install both and play with them to decide which one suits you best, that's fine as well. So if you scroll down, you'll see the rankings depending on some parameters. You will also see some pros and cons of each of these FTP tools. All right. So in the next video, we're going to start with CyberDuck, and then we'll do FileZilla straight after.